Hi, my name is Michelle Trena, and I am a writer, a stand-up comedian, and a teacher, and I am the creator of Divorce Diaries. Divorce Diaries is a one-woman comedy show that uses humor to cope with divorce. I started my show about 5 years ago, and it's traveled around the country, and it's done monthly in New York City pre-pandemic. Now I do it every other week virtually, and I help those who are going through transition heal through humor. In addition to Divorce Diaries, I take my humor concept and promote that through my theater company, Prop Box Players, that uses theater and humor to help children with special needs. I also run a Healing Through Humor program at North Jersey Health and Wellness. I feel that throughout my life, any bumps in the road, I like to call them beautiful mishaps, I've always used performance as a way to filter out my anxiety, to cope, and to grow from it. And it's also just made me excited to start my day. So I wanted to take that concept and promote it across the board with everything I do, from performance to teaching to being a mom. So take a look.
How can I help you?
So I'm a comedian and a writer, and like Judy was saying, humor heals. And so when I was going through a divorce, I decided to create a one-woman comedy show called Divorce Diaries.
I filed for divorce and moved back home with my parents and my grandmother and my twin brother and my handicapped dog. And my daughter was potty training. And unfortunately, my grandmother was back to potty training too because she was ill. So it was, and I was starting to date, and it was interesting because how do you date when you move back home with 6 other people living in the house? So it was interesting. I was like, all right, this has got to go on the stage somewhere.
Yeah, and dating is a big part of your show. You talk about some of the guys that you've been with.
I teach kids with special needs, and I date men with special needs, which is a big tag for the show. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's kind of my choice too. I always kind of run for the wounded bird.
Yeah. So you got that savior complex, right?
The
you
savior,
just gotta fix them.
Like, oh yeah, I can. You don't want commitment. Well, I'll show you why you should have commitment with me.
Oh boy. What does your family think about the comedy show?
They're very supportive of, they've always been supportive of, what I want to do with theater and comedy. But sometimes my mom's like, are you really have to make fun of us? I said, no, that's the humor, because we're a big Italian family, and they're very conservative, whereas I'm like, open book. My mom's like, let's close a couple of chapters.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure she
expose
feels that
everything.
Yeah, you talk about too, most moms can relate to this, whether they're divorced or not. The comparison trap with mothers, in the hookup line at school or, whatever. How do you deal with that kind of stuff?
I still don't know how I'm dealing with it. Like, I'm always late. I'm always late, and and other moms say the same thing, but I notice, like, I'm rushing to get to school. There's always that, like, school PTO mom that's perfect hair. I forget to brush my teeth, and she's got everything done. And she has like 4 kids, and I only have 1, so I don't understand it. But then I also feel like you have to not compare yourself, but just find the humor. And then we all have those days where we're like, oh my goodness, when is this going to be easy?
And give yourself a little grace in that process.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
It's a comedy show that makes you stand up, it makes you laugh about failed perfection, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I say like failed perfection and beautiful mishaps because I feel like that's my daily life. Like, I forgot makeup today. I was like, of course.
But you would never know because you look great. We're so excited to have you back. You were with us back in October.
Yep.
You're bringing the show back to Albany tonight, and it's a little bit different this time.
So I went back to the original structure. When I first started writing Divorce Diaries, it was like a one-woman theater piece. And when I started doing stand-up, I changed it where I would be headlining the show and have a feature or host and do an improv with a partner. But now I went back to the original structure of kind of focusing in on my story, my diary, and using the improv part, me going in and out of characters, and using the audience a little bit more. And tonight you'll see that in the show. It'll be a lot of fun.
And I'm sure the feedback on that has been great. And you're actually, another twist is that you've incorporated some local organizations to kind of help with that process. Divorce is not easy. Breakups are not easy.
Family attorneys is the go-to cross marketing because I feel like they see a lot of that, whether they're divorced or not. So Gabrielle Hartley, she used to be the former court attorney. She's going to be there tonight. She's going to also be giving away her book called Better Apart. And also have another local business, Women with Voices LLC.shop. She's going to be there. She came and bought tickets, and she's all about like women empowerment and like fun, fabulous stuff for women and men. And also, there's Bruce Trachtenberg. He's another family attorney in the Albany area. And so when I travel to different cities, I like to use local businesses just to kind of say, hey, you know, when you get divorced, it's new beginnings, it's new transitions, but all positive things.
All positive. And we do have to touch on, because you always have the funniest stories for
yeah.
us about the dating world and your life now.
You want me to tell you what I did?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had this guy that I went on a couple dates with. He texted me last night, and he said, hey, Michelle, spelled with 2 L's. Right, okay.
Wrong
and he goes.
And you've been on dates with him.
And I've been on dates with him, and he's seen my name written out on flyers for my show that I hang in his bagel store. Okay? Yes, he owns a bagel store. And so he writes my name wrong, and he says, I said, hey, how are you? Because he said, hey, Michelle, how's your day going? I said, hey, good, 1 L. And he writes back, what does the L stand for? So
he kind of missed the mark there.
Because he didn't understand. I said, it's 1 L in my name. And his response was, give me a break, word recognition. And that was not the first time he's misspelled my name. And that was not the first time he used that excuse.
I don't see too many more dates in the future there.
Well, no. We'll see if he brings me bagels. I don't know.
All right, you know. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. Your show tonight, 7:30 at the Albany Funny Bone.
Yes.
People can head down there and get tickets if they
They
want.
can go to albanyfunnybone.com to get tickets, and they can show up at the door. Yeah, I'm very excited.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone. It is National Divorce Day. Yay! So what better person to share how you can celebrate than the Divorce Diaries creator, comedian, and star Michelle Trena. And of course, a few Chippendales are always welcome on the show as well, anytime you guys want to stop by. So welcome.
Thank you.
Divorce parties are they've been gaining popularity over the past few years. Would you say this is like the new bachelorette party?
Absolutely. I think you need it after going through a divorce. It's so hard on your soul that you need to celebrate new beginnings, and what better way to have a comedy show and of course some hunky men to celebrate.
So let's talk, you guys are teaming up tonight.
Yep.
You're going to be the special guest, so explain kind of what you're doing with the show tonight.
Well, there's going to be a part of the show, a segment, where we do a little bit of a piece of my show, Divorce Diaries, and the guys are going to help me with a little bit. And the rest is a surprise, because we want to leave a little bit to the imagination, but they're going to be definitely involved in it.
Okay.
Mixing humor with some sexy moves there.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Divorce Diaries, like how that kind of came about.
It came about when I've done one-woman shows before, but it came about when I was getting divorced and I had to move back home with my parents, my 95-year-old grandmother, and I was potty training my daughter and my grandmother at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
So I was just like, you can't make this up. I need to put it on the stage. I was doing stand-up at the time. I have a background in improv. So that's kind of how the ball started getting rolling.
Our remote learning program is a weekly theater class that helps engage children in their schoolwork through theater. We offer once-a-week classes that aim at using dramatic play and helping towards a specific content area. Michelle Trena, the owner and artistic director of Propbox Players, has years of experience in using drama, movement, and other forms of theater to help kids learn and enhance social emotional skills, gross and fine motor skills, and develop critical thinking skills. This program is unique to the individual and organization and can be created together with a partner to ensure theater is helping their specific need in the remote learning process.
Michelle Trena, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You are the creator of a show called The Divorce Diaries.
Yes.
And this week you have your second round at the Albany Funny Bone at Crossgates Mall.
I'm very excited to be here. Thank you. And to be back at Funny Bone.
We're excited to have you. You are working to help people going through such a difficult thing in their lives, as you have done yourself, to kind of look back and think of it as more comical as you move on.
Yeah, because I feel like what do we tend to do when we're upset and sad? We want to get laughter. Laughter is something that as soon as we start laughing and we can't control that belly laugh, we feel good. The endorphins are moving and running in our brain and it feels good. I know when I'm at home, I want to watch something. I want to watch reruns of something really funny.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch something that's going to make me sad and cry more. And I think that the whole point of Divorce Diaries is to keep changing because the post-divorce journey keeps changing. You keep dating, you get remarried. Some people have more kids. And there's stories within that.
Right.
So.
And you've taken a show that you do monthly in New York City on the road.
Yes.
You talk about personal experience. You
Yes.
share that with people. Is that
I do.
difficult?
I love it because I get to use the experiences that could be frustrating and turn them into something that could be funny and allow other people to relate and feel good about themselves. Like I do a segment called Michelle Does Her Exes, and I take some of my exes and I put them out there, and I find the reason why it was so hard for me to be in a relationship with them, and I make that part of the joke. And then people have related to them, and they said, oh, that's so... Do they really say that? I said, yeah. So it's therapeutic.
No names, of course,
No
right?
names, of
Yeah.
course, no. And some of them actually follow the show. One of them actually really likes the show, and he likes his character, so.
And I wanted to talk a little bit more about the feedback that you're getting from people, because I'm sure
Yes.
that a lot of them can resonate and, you know, say, this is what I go through every day.
Right. So I do get a lot of Instagram, YouTube followers, and also people that just come to the show in New York, and they say to me, oh, I could give you a lot of material. So in a lot of the times when I travel with the show, I do cross promotions with a law firm where Bruce Trachtenberg is coming to the show, law firm, and I have Women with Voices Online is coming to the show. They support the show. And Gabrielle Hartley, she was a former attorney for the courthouse judge in New York State. She wrote a Better Apart is coming to do Divorce on the Street to tell her spin on her story.
Because it is such a common thing. And you and I were talking off set, and I want you to tell the audience watching at home this morning, you are going to start incorporating classes where people can act out.
Yeah, their story. So they can kind of role play what's the most frustrating part about your ex, right? And maybe play that part. Or what would you say to them if they were standing in front of you and there was no legal ramifications? And men struggle through depression and mental health issues when they're going through it. And I feel like, why not we just laugh about it? You have to turn it into something funny.
Funny show. I think it's therapeutic, but also a lot of laughs. So make sure you get out there and see it.
And that's how I have used humor in my life and throughout my career to help people heal. Thanks so much.